Aloha and welcome. In this final section, we're going to be talking about custom exception types. And up until now, we've been using exceptions based on exception types like value error or division by zero, things like that. Well, we can actually create our own custom exception types. And this is very useful if we're making our own modules and things like that. And we have our own unique types of problems that we have. So we can have our unique types of exceptions defined in custom exception types. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So I'm going to pull up VS Code here, and let's see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. So I've created an example here of a custom exception type. It's called need bigger boat error. And the common practice is to end your custom exception with the word error. So you can have whatever error you want, but name it, have it end with error. That's just the common practice. It's just good housekeeping to do that. It makes it clear to everybody what you're doing. So what we have to do is we set our class here. So we call a class, we create a class, we name it something ending in error, and then we send as a parameter exception. What this does is it inherits the properties of the exception class here. And we're not going to worry about the concept of inheritance. That's a bit beyond what we're teaching in this course, but know that inheritance allows us to take all the goodies from a previously defined class and use the same stuff and just make our own little changes to it. So that's the level at which you need to understand it here. So inside here, we have our constructor. We define the dunder and it dunder, and we send in self and value. So self, as you remember, is the hidden parameter or argument that's sent in. Then the value comes after it. And then here we do a self dot value equals value. So we're essentially setting that string that's sent in. So in our code, in order to use it, we're doing my boat length equals int of input boat length in feet. So we're going to be asking for the boat length in feet, and we're going to convert it to an integer. And then we're going to say, if my boat length is less than 100, we're going to raise that need a bigger boat thing, that error. And then we're going to send it this string right here. Else, we're going to print out this boat will do. So let's take a look at what happens. We run our code. It asks us, and let's say I want 100 feet. It'll say this boat will do. That's great. But what happens if it's not up to snuff? Let's say we have a 77-foot boat. Then boom, we get our need bigger boat error. We've got our custom error raised here. Isn't this wonderful? But it's not wonderful in the sense that we have an unhandled error here. Yes, it is custom, but it's unhandled. So let's be a little bit cleaner about this. Let's put this in a try and except block. So we'll go ahead and put in our code here. We'll try this, and we'll do an accept. We'll put in accept of, oh, hold on. Yeah, so try, and then we'll do an accept. And the accept will basically say print. Well, actually, let's go here and we can do a, hold on just a second. Let's take out the this boat will do right here. We're going to do a try. We're going to put in if the boat length is less than 0, we're going to raise the need bigger boat error, and that will then call on that. We're going to go ahead and accept over here we're going to put in accept need bigger boat error as error, we'll say. And then we're going to print out the error message here. And the error dot, no, we're just going to print error out right there. And oops, that should give us what we need. So we're going to have a try. We're going to say if boat length is less than 100, we're going to raise the error, and then we're going to accept it right there. So actually, this is not the way we want to run this. We're going to say boom, 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 boom. Oops, hold on. And do this. We're gonna, oh wait, no, that'll do. Yeah, we can put this inside here. We'll try it. And then over here, we're gonna print nice boat. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna check if the boat length is not up to snuff. We're gonna call this need bigger boat error here, and we're gonna then say if it doesn't raise the error, we're gonna say nice boat. Otherwise, it's going to accept over here and do this. Why do we do this? Because before we have that unhandled error down here, and that just looks ugly and it stops execution. If we run it like this, what's going to happen is we're going to run it. If our length is not up to snuff, then it's going to raise the error. It'll go down here and handle it, and it'll print it out, and then we can continue on. We can do some finally section and handle whatever needs to be handled, but there's nothing here. So what we'll do is we'll either have a nice boat or we're going to print out the problem. So we're going to run it. Let's say that it's a good boat. We're going to have 100. It's going to say, hey, nice boat. Great. It went all the way through our code and it went over the accept part. Let's say we run it again and we only have a 5-foot boat. That's going to be a problem. And sure enough, it goes ahead. Once we hit that, we're going to raise our need bigger boat error here, and it's not going to go to nice boat. Remember, once we raise it, it goes to the exception. Then it goes down here, and it's binding the message we've got here, the error, to the ERR. When we print that, it's going to print the string from here, which is what we get here. We are going to need a bigger boat. So that's how we use our custom exceptions. So this is pretty neat. We could name this whatever we want to, but when we're making a module that has all kinds of functionality and stuff like that, we can have our own custom exception types that are unique to the types of stuff that we're doing. So this is how you create it. Again, you use a class, you inherit the exception up there, don't understand it, just use it. Then you set up your constructor. They talk about in the book how you can just use a pass here and it will, it'll essentially do the same thing. It's, rather minimalist. You run it 5, you still get the same results, but yeah, you still have to have at least one line in your class so you can do that. So anyhow, if you have any questions about this code, feel free to ask. Send me an email, or you can go ahead and, send me an email and ask for a Zoom lesson. We can go over it one by one and I can explain things to you. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've gotten a lot out of it. If you have any questions, as always, reach out and let me know, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Actually, we'll see you in the next chapter. Enjoy.